On this episode, we're back with our series where we pick a snack, a quick service, a table service, a spot to shop, a show to see, a character to meet, and finally a ride at each of the 4 Walt Disney World parks. And today, we focus on Hollywood Studios. Today's July 9th, 2024. And this is episode 683 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
So today's episode is one that I don't always love because I have to work, but it's fun and we're keeping it light, and we've had a very fun, busy weekend.
Yeah, we have. We haven't recorded in a week because we got ahead last Sunday, so it's been a full week since we even sat down to record. So I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
So good to be back.
Golly,
Welcome.
I can't even believe we were at Typhoon Lagoon on
I know.
Thursday with Lacey.
Yeah, we had a great trip going down to Typhoon on Thursday with Lacey and her friend, and staying at Drury Inn that night.
Yeah.
And we can chat a little bit about it now because we're not going to do any kind of real episode on it. But yeah, any specific thing you want to say? Like, why don't you?
Well, I will say, starting out at Typhoon, we did the same thing where we were going to try to get a umbrella and everything, and we did. But instead of going over the bridge and down by the water, we went the opposite way.
Yeah, you went to the right.
To the right by the bathrooms and everything. It was neat. We got an umbrella, and we got one right in front of basically Misadventure Falls.
Yeah.
But I think I like the water one better. So my little tip would say, go over the bridge and try to get down there.
Yeah, and you can go either right or left at that point once you're able to cross it. But when they're queuing you, those are the two areas. And stick to left over the bridge area. But yeah, it was wonderful. And then we stayed at the Drury Inn. Yeah. We did have some crazy rain come through.
But once we were in the
it didn't ruin
resort and just hanging out, it was great. We went to Disney Springs later and got some salt and straw and kind of let the kids play and do whatever they wanted to do, and just had a really nice time, and then came home Friday.
Yeah.
So it's super weird. Like, then Friday we were at the pool, and then
that was Saturday.
And
the beach
then
all day
Sunday.
Today. So yeah. So we're going to do a fun one for this one. And it is fun. I mean, we love doing these episodes once you've done your homework.
Yeah, and honestly, I wasn't too bad because it was Hollywood. And I think the last time I was like, all right, I'm not having to look like through a whole bunch of parks.
Right.
So I was able just to pull up Hollywood. So it is a little easier, I feel like.
And it was kind of good timing for this because, when we were just there the other week when we did our, our random Disney day that we kind of and it ended up at Hollywood Studios, and deciding to do that morning was based on this, episode series. So then I was like, what, this is a good one to throw in now. And then, because that's where all of these items were selected for us when we had our random Disney day. And now we get to select for ourselves. So way we always do this is we are going to pick a location to drink and what you would get. We're going to pick a location to eat a snack and what you would get. We're going to do the same with a quick service and a table service. Then we move on to where you would shop, what you're shopping for. And then I added in, we didn't have these in the past episodes that we did, but a character meet and greet.
Yeah.
Because we did this on a random Disney day. So we added that in. You get to pick one show to see and then an attraction to ride. Now, Little part of this game with Rhonda and I is that we cannot pick the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to make that part fair, we'll flip a coin.
Yep.
Rhonda is heads. I will be tails. We'll flip a coin for each of these. Whoever gets their heads or tails will go first. So we have backups as well. So again, we've done our research and everything. But we got to have a backup because, if Rhonda picks one that I pick, then I can't pick it anymore. So are you ready to start? I've got my trusty quarter. Yeah. And first one is heads. So Rhonda, where are you going and what are you getting to drink at Hollywood Studios?
Well, I actually picked Oga's.
Good pick. Very good pick.
And the Fuzzy Tauntaun. It is $18.50 though.
Oh, it's so crazy.
It is crazy. It is a mix of sweet like juices and vodka, and then it's got that fuzzy stuff that makes your lips feel a little tingly.
It does.
It's really weird, but it's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a perfect location. I think that's
fun.
the location. And then you get anything you want there. I mean, really.
Yes.
Like, everything there is good. It's just very, very expensive. And
they're,
for cocktails, everything here is
pre-mixed.
So for cocktails, you're not getting your possible 1850s worth, if you're sitting at your favorite bar at Disney and, you order something similar and they're mixing it to order. So something to notice. So I decided just not to pick Oga's at all, even because there was nothing that was standing out for drink wise, even though they're all good. So I actually went to Roundup Rodeo for the grown up peanut butter and jelly shake. So this is peanut butter whiskey, a vanilla smoothie, and then grape jelly for $15. I had this price when we ate there, the second day that they were open. And it was outstanding. It was so good. And you can get something very similar, except they also use a blackberry liqueur in theirs over at Tune In Lounge. And if you're sitting down there at 50s. So they have one, and theirs is, I think, $15 as well, or something like that. What did you go then for a backup? Because I always like to talk backups. Baseline?
I was going to pick Baseline, but I went looking, and their wild strawberry lemonade is really good. That's non-alcoholic, and then you can add vodka and stuff. But honestly, every time I went, there's nothing really there that I got like specific. It would be just my normal like vodka and water and lemon from Mike.
Right.
But so I actually went with Mama Melrose. The chocolate martini. The only reason.
Yeah.
But it was $16. It was a chocolate martini. There was like white liqueur in it, some type of like white chocolate, like, and then like I was reading it and I was like, holy moly, I don't think I realized, and it was just fantastic. It was really good. I did.
It's the one good that was the one good food or whatever beverage item that came out of Mama Melrose.
Correct.
Meeting Angela, the wonderful cast member in our server, was definitely a highlight coming out of there. I went for my backup. I did go non-alcoholic over at Baseline with the strawberry hibiscus soda. For $4.59. That you can add liquor to as well. Mike had actually, back when I was drinking, recommended adding whiskey. And that was super good with it.
That's right.
So that's what I used to do the one time that he recommended it. I was like, I kind of just want something different. And that's what Mike offered. But yeah, you can get it just $4.59 if you want just the soda. Nice. And it's actually on tap. So it's super, super good. All right. We're going to flip for where to eat and what for a snack. And I always get confused with the two heads. It's actually tails, even though it has a person's head.
So you get to go first.
Yes, I get to go first. So I'm actually going to go to the market and get a Jack Num Num cookie for $6.19 because it is stupid good. It is the simplest chocolate chip cookie you can have, done salt. With a little sea salt on top, done to absolute perfection. It's thick, it's chewy. When you get it, it's warm. But we brought it all. No, we did take a bite or two.
We took a bite or two because it was warm.
And then we brought it home and ate the leftovers. And while it wasn't still warm, and you obviously could zap it in the microwave, it was just as like moist and chewy and perfect as it was when it was warm. And it took us forever to have this thing. And it's one of my favorites. Like I'd stack it up against Gideon's is a whole other level of cookie and style. But I'd put this up against Summer House. And those cookies, again, they're different styles, but it's so good.
It is.
I love that thing. So
Yes.
that's what I decided to go with my number 1 pick. What's yours?
Well, you were asking about drinking for baseline, but that is where I'm going for my snack. And I'm doing a Bavarian pretzel with the beer cheese or spicy, and it is $10.
That pretzel's only $10?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I would
That's
not have
really
guessed
good.
that. That's a great
They did
price.
take off the puff steak pastry
I
thing,
know.
but it's still fine because that pretzel is what they sell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good.
It's the go-to there.
It really is.
Like, for sure. I love that. I had switched last minute because my original, but then I thought you were going to pick it.
What was it?
Was Ronto breakfast wrap at Ronto Roasters. So
I
purposely
thought you were going to pick it, so I put it second.
So we both ended up making it second because
Yes.
we didn't want to ruin it. That's really sweet of each of us, actually. That's cute. So yeah, I mean, literally
$12.79.
Yeah, on my paper, last minute, I did arrows to swap them because I was like, you know what? If it lands on heads and Rhonda gets it, or I'm sorry, if it lands on heads and I get it, tails, you know what I meant. I didn't want to say Ronto and steal your first pick because I just figured that was it. So very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next is going to be where and what to eat at a quick service in Hollywood Studios. We have heads. Rhonda gets to go first. I don't think you're stealing mine because mine surprised me.
Mine
I was like, why
actually
did I pick
surprised
this?
me.
I don't know. I've only had a bite of it ever.
Oh, well, I picked ABC commissary.
And the buffalo chicken grilled cheese?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's what I put.
It's only $11.99, and it was super good.
We've never ordered it. Kat did, and we each took a bite. That's all
I
we've
think
ever
I
eaten
ordered
right?
it. The one, no. I think I took a bite, and it was really
when
good.
we went with your parents.
And then I ordered it.
That's
yeah,
right.
because you had the pork tacos, right?
I did. Yeah.
And you
and
thought those were really good.
I almost put those on there. I've had the
Right.
shrimp tacos.
Yeah.
You've had the Mediterranean salad.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, ABC Commissary, I'll say it right now, most underrated quick service on all of property. I don't even think that's a hot take. I don't think that's a bold statement. I think that the ABC Commissary is so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
And with mobile order, like it used to be prior to mobile order, well, they went through, they were good, then they were not great, and then they are great again.
Mm-hmm.
But before mobile order, even when they were good, you just didn't want to go in there because it's a madhouse. Like it looks like the most popular restaurant that nobody talks about.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So what do we do? So that was actually your pick. So I can't choose it, but obviously I had it. I'm going to go to.
You have to go to your backup.
Yeah, and I'm going to laugh because this could be your backup. Even though they updated it and they changed it and they added a beet hummus, docking bay 7, and the Felucian Garden.
Yes.
Yeah, well, now it's called the Felucian falafel.
It's
I
falafel
think garden,
and
right?
hummus.
Yeah, but they changed it a little bit by adding a beet hummus to it. So they switched it a little bit, but yeah, $13.29.
Yeah, that's my second one.
It's the best. Do you remember looking at? Did it just have the leaf to say that it's plant based?
Yes,
I don't know that it's fully vegan.
It's plant,
but it's at least vegetarian. So it's the best. It's the best vegan vegetarian dish I've had on property.
Yeah, it's
and
really
I've tried
good.
a lot.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I went through that whole period of 6 months where all I tried was plant-based at Disney, and this reigns supreme as number one.
Yes, it did.
That is hilarious. We both had the exact same picks.
Really
Especially
weird.
how random that is. You know, and you could fill in, like we consider Ronto Roasters a snack for us. Like we don't consider it a quick service, but really,
right.
you know, somebody could easily argue with us on that one.
The overnight,
they'd really they wouldn't have a lot to do, like if that was what they chose to do with their life, but feel free.
It was, I actually was also going to pick the overnight oats because I've had those before too, and I really liked them.
Such a weird consistency.
You just, I think it's the texture of it. I'm fine with texture, but I'm like, I should get those again one day. But,
well, I'll tell you what then, if anybody did want to argue and say, Ronto Roasters can be a snack place, but the Ronto wrap is not a snack, it's a meal, then I'll take the krill pork rinds from Ronto Roasters, and I'll use that as my snack. Yep. So I got you guys. I win the argument. All right. We're moving on to table service, where and what to eat. And mine is shocking, my first one, but it's heads. But I did the same thing. I moved my first one to my second one because I know what your first one is.
what is it?
It's the Cobb salad at the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Oh, actually, I put brown derby, but I said anything and everything.
Okay, that is fair.
But
if you had to pick one
if I had to pick one item, I would
Cobb.
definitely say Cobb salad. We just ate there recently, and holy moly, it was fantastic.
This place is it is superior to most other table services at Disney.
Yeah,
it's another one that I think flies way under the radar. It's fine signature restaurant. That's what I think a lot of people don't even realize. I think they think it's just a regular table service, and it's not. It's fine and signature dining, and they have backed it up again and again. Yep. But it's weird. I can't explain it because even when we go to Hollywood Studios, like we just don't think of going there a lot. You know what I mean? Like it's not one that's on our radar.
Right.
A lot of times. I feel like if somebody says name the top 5 dining spots on Disney, I would leave that one out if I had to just go quick. But if I really get to think about it, it would probably make my top 5 on property. Just the consistency, everything we've had. But it just,
oh my gosh,
we don't talk about it enough. Other people don't talk about it enough. And it is dang good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is. So what was your first one?
So I switched because I couldn't do that. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to actually, technically it's a snack, I guess. On the appetizer menu, sci-fi, I think their hoisin smoked chicken wings are my favorite wings on property.
Those were good.
They were
They were really good.
For as much as I didn't love my meal, which was the banh mi burger,
right,
and it was nothing they did wrong, it just ended up being too
much
porky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just pork on pork, and it was too much. The rest of their burgers, everything else, their onion rings are outstanding. It's not a place I want to go often because of the atmosphere. It's just I don't want to have to get a flashlight out to see the menu now that we're old. Like, I want to be able to maybe just have a conversation. But I really do. I get why sci-fi gets a lot of love.
Yeah.
And it is very hard to book.
Well, that's funny because that is what I put for my backup.
Really?
And I said a burger.
Nice.
Because I had a good burger.
Yeah. Your burger was great.
Yeah.
Was
Rachel, actually, that's when we did the Mama Melrose. She was like, all right, let me switch. And she switched to sci-fi. And they really were fine and enjoyed their meal. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put that. Just because it's like good burgers. Like it's just a good old burger.
Did you put down roughly their burgers? They're running about 21 to 23, 24 bucks, aren't they?
So.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
I think it's around
But
that
I feel
range.
like, and if people are like, oh, that's kind of expensive for a burger. I mean, you're sitting in the dine-in theater.
And that's what we've always said. You have to look at the price
dinner
you
and
pay.
a show.
Right, for atmosphere.
Yeah.
If you can take the atmosphere out of it, you can take that burger and say, I'm going to stick it at my local restaurant. How much would I pay for this? Right?
Yeah.
And you might go, well, you know what? I can go to Texas Roadhouse and they're probably charging $15 to $18 for a burger. I bet.
Possibly.
Now, what if you could have that same burger, but you could be what looks like an outdoor drive-in sci-fi theater?
Right.
Right? Is that worth an extra $5, $10?
Yeah.
That's kind of up to you, but we always talk about that. And that's what I wanted to go back because we didn't really mention, the wings are $15.
Yeah.
They're pricey. I believe there were 5 wings. You're talking $3 a wing.
Okay.
That's a lot. Even if there was 6 wings, it's still, just shy of $3. That Cobb salad is $25. That's a lot. But I can guarantee you it might be the best salad you'll ever eat in your entire life. So,
and it's a large portion.
It's a huge portion.
Like.
Right. So those are the things you have to look at, though, and weigh, and especially as you start looking at budgeting a trip. One of the things, and you're always better to over budget, obviously.
100%.
So if you want to, sit down and say, hey, I really want to be hard on a budget for this trip. And I want to sit down and look at the menus. I have our dining. I want to sit down with my family. Let's kind of pre-order what everybody thinks they would have. Let's add it up. And you want to do an entree for each adult and an entree for each kid because you feel safe. You're budgeting higher, but know that you have a lot of wiggle room, I think, based on those portion sizes. So that Cobb salad would be easily shareable as a lunch.
Yeah.
Now if you're the type that doesn't have some big heavy lunch and maybe that's not your big meal of the day, dinner is, then you look at saying, let's do something in room from vacation grocery delivery in the morning for breakfast and save us a bunch of money. Let's move to a light quick service at lunch. And then maybe we save that entree per person for dinner. But if you start going breakfast, lunch, dinner, entrees for everybody, handing them out like frickin' Oprah, then you get an entree. You get an entree. Look under your seat, Rhonda. There's an entree.
Then I would look at the dining plan.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, and you can do all that math. So let's get back to what this episode was about. Now we're doing where to shop and what are you shopping
what was your
for? Oh,
backup?
no, my backup was the Hollywood. Was Hollywood?
Oh,
Brown
yeah,
and the
that's
Cobb.
right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it would have been my first pick, but I decided
right.
again
I
didn't want to
Sorry.
steal it from you, so I moved it. All right, so let's go to shopping, and we are going to do Tales, and I'm going to go to Once Upon a Time. It is down Sunset Boulevard on the right before you get to the Beauty and the Beast Theater. It's the big store. It's got all the stuff. After you pass Pandora and all that, it's that one. And honestly, I'm gonna probably look at their Spirit jerseys. They have a large selection of just good T-shirts.
Yep.
Like they've got a lot. Is that what you picked?
No, but it's funny because I did say Legends of Hollywood, which is the Pandora, and then like you go into, and I don't know if it's another name, but then not only on the opposite side of Pandora, but there's a lot of like little neat clothes, and sometimes there's some like rare stuff. I feel like
no, there is
in there, so that's where I would go, and then I like to go into the next one where you are as well.
Yep. No, I agree. My backup was Mickey's of Hollywood. It's the first main shop on your left as you're walking down Hollywood Boulevard. Again, it's not as big or as flashy, but it is what Creations is to Epcot, what the Emporium is to Magic Kingdom. Mickey's of Hollywood is to Hollywood Studios. That is where, for the most part, and then the subsequent store next to it, which has mostly Star Wars and Marvel.
Right.
Between those two shops, you can conquer every item you could pretty much need outside of Magic Bands. And that's really what they did. Is instead of building one giant Emporium, one giant Creation style shop when they did MGM, now Hollywood, is they conquered everything you needed right there on Hollywood Boulevard. From get your Magic Band and your trading pins. Oh, I want to pick up some ears. Then I want to grab a sweatshirt, and I want to get the latest Marvel.
And a blanket
whatever.
and a home stuff.
And then I want to get the latest
and
Marvel
Starbucks.
whatever. And then I'm going to finish it off with Starbucks and get my coffee. So it's like that.
Yep.
That's their entire shopping district, really, which is pretty cool. I like that it's done that way. So what did you have at your backup?
I'm not sure exactly what it's called. It's the Tower of Terror shop when you're leaving.
Heck yeah. Man, that is actually that would actually should be my number one.
It's
just
so
one
much
I don't remember.
Nightmare Before Christmas back there.
And the Hollywood Tower Hotel stuff.
It's so cool. So it's one of those things where it's so funny. We rode with them. This was so fun when we went to Hollywood with Rachel and TJ. Yeah. Oh my God. It was so funny because it was the first time he ever rode it. And I mean, I literally am like, okay, I'm done. Like, please stop. So every time I can ride it and do that, I still like going through with you.
Yeah.
I'll ride it and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. But then I like walking through and seeing. There's some good stuff back there. We
should almost do a bracket challenge with ride merch, like who has the best ride merch, because I'd say Tower of Terror and Haunted Mansion would be a championship battle on who has the better ride merch.
Well, we'd have to go searching too.
No, that's what I'm saying is look at all the, look at what they have for Rise of Resistance.
Yeah.
Look what they have for Mickey and Minnie's, go into, but see, there's also a big difference. Like that is specific to that ride in the allure of the Hollywood Tower Hotel. You don't, and I could be wrong, I don't know that there's a single Frozen ride merchandise piece. There's Frozen items, but they're not specific to the ride. That's what makes Tower so great, Haunted so great, is that they have to all of the merch is themed to the ride because that's all that exists.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when or Pirates, for example,
right?
Too. Any of these originals, but if you look at something like Frozen, there's no Frozen ride merch.
True.
Like so.
Okay.
Yeah, I just came up with that on the top of my head.
Look at that.
All right, next, our newest category is Who to Meet. And this is going to be an interesting one. We have heads. So you do get to pick first.
I picked Olaf.
You did? Okay.
At Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't. I picked as my second pick.
Oh, I did because he likes warm hugs.
He does.
And it was great. And it was just so much fun. And is that where we met Tony?
No, but she would bounce back between Olaf, I believe, and then Mickey and Minnie.
Because that was my backup.
Which is an outstanding meet and greet back to back. You get both of them like that.
We just met them.
Yeah.
So
and Minnie's in like her best dress, and then it's Fantasia Mickey.
Yes.
Which is really cool.
It was.
I ended up with Olaf second.
Okay.
Only because I went with the live action Ariel as my first. Because
I forgot about that. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I do that because with the face characters, you can carry on a conversation.
Yes.
So if that's not what you want,
right,
the non-face characters are really the way to go.
Right.
But I'm very awkward in the game of charades that gets played. You know, I never know. I'm just not good at it. I don't know what they're motioning. I don't know what's happening. Like half the time they'll point to my shirt and I got to look down and be like, what shirt was I wearing? Oh, okay. I understand the reference now. I don't remember, so I look like an idiot. But
that's funny.
When we did that live action Ariel, that was so good.
Yeah.
And that was not long after she started.
Yes.
And I'm glad to see that she's still there because it's such a wonderful interaction.
Yep.
Same with like anytime we've done Tiana, you know, when you look at the restaurants like doing Akershus, you know, with all the face characters, just the absolute best. Okay. Now we get a show to see. Don't have a ton of options here, really. It is Tails. I won't steal your junior dance party, which is, I'm guessing, what you picked. I went with Frozen Sing Along. Sorry. Did you go Epic for first? Spectacular?
No, I put Fantasmic.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I would rather watch Frozen Sing Along than Fantasmic.
Really?
I would.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm ready for something new.
I mean,
like brand new.
Oh.
All new.
Oh.
Yeah, it's time.
Well, I enjoyed it.
It is a great show.
And after trying to watch Epcot's thing, whatever it is.
Luminous, the Symphony of Us.
I'm like, whatever it is, because it changes.
I would rather watch Fantasmic than Luminous.
Right.
Yes.
And I think because of thinking about it, and then Rachel was going to go again, and I was like, aw, yeah, like it was good.
We'll have to catch it, you know.
Yeah.
And we can try again at the end of this month when we go.
Yeah. But I like
actually, that is the plan, I think. No, never mind.
Because we're going
disregard. We're gonna do the drone show, again. But anyway,
but my second was Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So
wow, Frozen sing along not making it at all.
Why
Indiana over Frozen sing along? Out of curiosity, just because I know we love Frozen.
I do love it.
I do love the song. Of it.
I do. You know? I do love the songs. I do love everything. But I'm not saying I'm sick of it, and I'm not saying, but. I don't know.
It sounds like that's what you're saying.
It's just
what would you want them to do?
Like
something? Would you like them to go in a whole new direction in that theater? Or,
I think,
or maybe they change it and go, let's do the history of Frozen 2. You know what I mean? Maybe they do the exact same concept.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and do Frozen 2.
And I think they could literally take I mean, come on, Disney. Yeah. You've got all these amazing, like, I love the soundtrack to Frozen. Yes. I love Frozen 2.
Yeah.
I love zombies. You
want a zombie stage show in there?
How freaking cool would that be?
It'd be amazing. I just don't know that it could do the year round.
Well, and I'm not saying maybe a year round. I'm saying, some months. Because then not only you have Descendants, zombies. These are all sing along. You can make some, like, I don't know, like you can tell stories. You can do something.
Would you want to see? Well, you could put something like that in there for Halloween time. You know, so you do basically the way that they convert it for the Nightmare show for Jollywood Nights. So it's an easy conversion, and they're doing that at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all day.
Correct.
So you could literally do a Halloween overlay and have like a zombies. I think would be really cool.
And you could still even have
I still like the Christmas tag though for Frozen sing along.
Yeah, not that they're how do I say it royal historians for zombies, but
again, same
kind of tell the story.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a great idea.
I think they could and have all these cute, fun little sing-alongs.
Are we getting Zombies 4?
Yes.
And we're getting Descendants 4 here next week, I think.
The 12th.
The 12th. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're getting a Zombies 4.
I think it's vampires.
Oh yeah, that would totally make sense. That's what we had
super excited. I love all these things. So,
yeah.
You know, I mean, and there's just so many more musicals out there that I
Greatest Showman. I'll take a
yeah, right. No, that'd be amazing. I think it's just one of those things. That's why I didn't pick it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Let's move on to our final one, which is which attraction to ride. And it is Tails, so I get to go first. I mean, I'm just going to go Rise of Resistance.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, it's Rise of Resistance.
Yeah, that's my second pick.
Okay. I mean, when it's running on all cylinders, which is now without the blasters, they're never going to move again.
Just like the Yeti?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's still, I mean, it's so good. It's just everything about it. It's so fun. And that was so fun riding with
that
Rachel and
was so
TJ. Like,
funny.
it was amazing.
Yes.
Like, it's just,
I loved his,
it was so
like,
good.
at the very end, he had no
the
idea.
drop at the end was
God,
just,
that was priceless.
It was amazing. So then what was your number one?
What do you think?
At
Hollywood. I love this ride.
Oh, Mania.
Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, Toy Story Mania.
I love
right.
it so much.
That makes sense.
So, it's just
so
fun.
fun.
I got to ride with TJ this last time and I totally beat him.
I won the car though.
But of course you always do. So I didn't feel like I was on my game. I don't know why. Like I still was okay, but
it is so much
fun. It's
fun. I mean, it's one that we try and do every single time that we visit Hollywood Studios. It has so much rewritability.
100%.
It's outstanding.
Yep.
It's so good. I went with, and this really could take my first, is Tower of Terror. I love that ride.
I know. I'm surprised you picked Rise, but
just because I feel like, again, I think that comes down to which one could if I walked in the front and they said, we're going to walk you on one ride right now, what would it be? I'd be like, oh, Rise of Resistance. You know what I mean?
You would?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know that because I have Tower of Terror has a lot more accessibility.
Yeah.
You know, so it's one of those things like I can pretty much guarantee we could ride Tower. Now, Rise, again, you rope drop or you stay till close. I mean, there's obviously many of things around it, and you can, of course, always buy an individual lightning lane.
Right.
And you still will be able to when they change everything here in 2 weeks. But yeah, it still feels like that kind of unicorn, you know, that you're just like, oh, unicorn.
Okay.
As opposed to the horse. Tower of Terror is like just a horse. Like I see the horse, I see him all the time, but a unicorn, show me a unicorn, I'm there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
That was fun. See, these are fun.
Yeah.
Don't you like it once you get into it?
And then it was super funny because of our Hollywood day. Like, you know, we did
how many
go to
matched up,
I mean,
right?
so many of them.
Yeah. I mean, looking real quick, well, Ronto Roasters, we had to do that. And then we ended up at Hollywood Brown Derby for lunch. We had to do Mickey and Minnie, which was on your list. Like, so it really picked a lot of them.
The show was Beauty and the Beast.
Yep, it was Beauty and the Beast.
Which I was fine with that. And I almost picked that because we just saw it and just re-seeing it. I mean, it is so great.
Yeah. But again, it's just an area that is ripe for something else now.
I'd agree with that.
Let's keep it going. Even if it was, you know, they're going to update The Little Mermaid. They're not just wiping out The Little Mermaid show. They're going to update it, but it's still The Little Mermaid. Even if it was just that, you know, again, update the sing-along with Frozen 2.
Yeah.
And I just feel like you could do the same thing here. Even if you update it, continued with Beauty and the Beast. We talked before about like almost a live action rendition. I know it is a live action, but it's a live action based on the animated movie. Right. But for them to do live action based on the live action movie would be cool. And I know, and the thing is, I understand, like, it sounds real easy for us to sit here and just go, switch it to Frozen 2. You can do Frozen 2 sing-along on Disney Plus. That's easy. That's a switch. No. Right. These shows take a long time to develop. They take a long time to cast, to bring the people in, you know, to write. Right. You know, you don't realize that there were scripts and stories and everything that had to be written for something as, you know, air quotes, simple as the Frozen sing-along. Right. You know, who knows how long that actually took to develop. So for them to change something completely could take a lot of time. So, you know, the one thing I didn't think about.
And I see you thinking
I haven't thought about. No, I'm thinking of the end of the month. I was thinking of the end of the month and the new in the Country Bear reopening on the July 17th. But I know where to work it in at the end of the month.
Okay. Of
course. Got another surprise for Rhonda.
Oh.
On Saturday, the 27th of July of this month. We'll consider it a birthday present.
Oh. Do you need a pack for me again?
Maybe. It wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary. You could technically wear what you're wearing right now. But yeah, I think I will. I think it will. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see when that comes. But,
okay.
You heard thank you all. Yeah. Thank you all so much for listening. You can always play along at home. This will all be posted, of course, to social media at Main ST Magic. You can go out and search for our Facebook community, the Main Street Magic community on Facebook. Make sure you ask to join, and then you can go ahead and kind of play along. You can post what would you choose for each of these when we post the episode. So if you want to hear all these episodes, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you get brand new ones every Tuesday and Friday. And of course, as long as you're out there, Rhonda and I would be so very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.